Kathleen Chica. I'm a modern impressionism painter. So you can see my paintings are a lot of color, and I like to paint desert landscapes but also modernism urbanscapes. And so you'll see I use a lot of thick chunky oil paint, and some of these I do on location. I'll just set up outside in the street in front of somebody's house. I find my subjects when I'm taking bike rides or walking around and like, oh, I've got to paint this house. I love a lot of the modernism architecture. The shapes are great, the lights and shadows that you can get, and then usually the kind of desert landscape that's around it, which is fun. And so I do that, and my alter ego is Palm Springs pop-up painter. So I pop up and paint all around town. A lot of people here know me as that. Yeah, so this is one of the famous steel houses. Don Wexler did the steel houses up in North Palm Springs. I call this Zigzag Night Glow because I also had a daytime version that somebody bought. This is another famous style house with the butterfly roof, and this is in the Twin Palms neighborhood. So I call this one Lily Pads because it has these circular pads of grass mixed in with the gravel. And I actually have painted that house twice. That's a different version over there. This neighborhood is Canyon View Estates, and that's a famous architect, and that was in the movie that was just out called Don't Worry Darling. And then these are a lot of abandoned motels, Route 66, places out in the desert, just with the cool signage. Sometimes, like this one, the hotel's still there, or motel. This one, the motel's long gone, but the sign's still there, and I like painting those kind of places. This is a abandoned place up in Joshua Tree, and then I do a lot of pool scenes. So here's your kind of typical Palm Springs pool scenes. This one I call poolside nightcaps. So people are asking me about it. I'm like, well, either the chairs are sitting there waiting to have a nightcap, or maybe they're waiting for their people to come and have a nightcap there. Who knows? It could be any of those things. And then maybe last but not least are these two ladies. They're part of the synchronized swimming team out of LA, and then they're called the Aqua Lilies. So they still do synchronized swimming, and there's a whole group of them that come here and do events. So the two of them are taking a break, and I'm just like, I wanted to capture that because it has this very 1920s, 1930s vibe with their parasols and their swimming cap, and so that's why I wanted to paint that. And people really dig the colors in this one. So that's kind of what I do here, and anything, just whatever captures my interest. I use a lot of color and just try to kind of convey that whole Palm Springs vibe.